Yo, what's going on guys? It's Anime1 back here with another video, and today I'm here with another part of What If Naruto Was Neglected and had Isshiki's karma. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. Back at the Genin exams, Naruto sat in the back of the classroom, wearing his black headband. He had passed the exam with flying colors, flooring everyone in the entire classroom. He was one of the top students, even when Naruto didn't meant to. Even defeating Sasuke, he was pretty at the top in the taijutsu department. He felt eyes of the Uchiha girl on him. "Is there something you need?" he asked. Sayuri glared at him. "How did he get so good?" Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Good at what? You have to be more specific," he asked. Sayuri glared harder. If he didn't knew any better, he could have sworn that if she glared any harder, her starting gun could awaken at any moment. "You know what the fuck I'm talking about. This! The whole stupid act. Why hide it? You could have easily been the top student all along in at least the taijutsu department." Naruto scoffed. "Well, there's more to life than being the so-called best in the academy. No one cares if you're good in the academy outside the village. Besides, I don't have to answer you. Now leave me alone," he said as looking to the side, but Sayuri wasn't backing off. "Hey, you can't ignore me. Who the hell do you think you are?" She howled, but Naruto didn't respond. Why should he have to? Iruka had left the classroom to head to the Hokage's office to receive the team results. Afterwards, he could go home. Naruto sat in silence as he thought of who his Jonin was going to be. He wondered who his teammates were going to be. If it was either Menma, Mito, or Sasuke, he was being honest. He would jump out the window and kill himself. Yes, that is what he was gonna do. An hour later, Iruka came in the roof with a smile. "Well, alright, your team selection has been made. Here they are. Team 1 is Naruto zoned out till he heard the people who actually mattered a little bit. Team 7 is Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura, Haruno, and Sai, which will be led by Kakashi Hatake. Team 8 is Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame, led by Kuruna Yuhi. Team 9 is still being held from the last year. Team 10 is Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akamichi, and Ino Yamanaka, led by Asuma Sarutobi. Team 11 is Menma Uzumaki and Mito Uzumaki, led by Kushina Uzumaki. Team 12 is Sayuri Uchiha, Yoroichi Kubotsuchi, and Naruto Uzumaki, led by Shisui Uchiha. Naruto frowned on the outside as he saw Sayuri smirked. "Looks like I'll be getting my answers, loser. You can't escape me now." Naruto was frowning inside. "Shit, this isn't good," he thought. Isshiki was laughing his ass off. "That's what you get, brat. I told you to treat these humans as an inferior creature, yet you treat them normal. This is what you get," he said with a smirk. Naruto scoffed. "Tch, that mindset of yours is never gonna make sense to me, Isshiki, no matter what you say." Isshiki shrugged. "Well, I had to try. You are no Otsutsuki, and also my former vessel, so I have to do something to make you dignified," he said. Naruto's sweat dropped. "Dignified, you say?" Isshiki didn't answer the question. "This has to be my life today," Naruto mumbled as he sat in the seat further away from the group as far as possible. There were 6 of them in the classroom, as every team had left with their sensei, so it was just 2 teams left, Shisui's team and Kakashi's team. Naruto remembered the look that his so-called mother gave him when she came for her team. It looked like it was a look longing for and a heartbreak, which he didn't give a rat ass about, to be quite honest. So it was just Team 7 and Team 12 waiting for the sensei. Sasuke was too busy playing with his kunai and imagining slashing through a certain blonde's neck. Sakura was just eyeing the male Uchiha like a slice of meat, and Sai, well, he was just being a creep, as he always was, just silently absorbing anything. Kinda like him, but in a butt look way. The look in his eyes says that he was not absorbing, he's analyzing. His eyes would have darted at him, but then it would go to Sasuke. He didn't know what the weirdo was up to, but he'll be ready to avoid whatever Sai has in store for him. Sai was just glaring at the chalkboard of the room, but sometimes sneaking glances at Naruto. Then she would scowl at him before glaring at the board again. She was a weirdo. Then there was Yoroichi Kibutsushi. He was a man with long blonde brown hair and light brown eyes. His hair was on one side, but on the other side it was a little brad. In addition, he was wearing a red shirt and a black pant. His style was very similar to Naruto. He was a nice boy, even after being a civilian of a rich family. He wasn't cocky to show that he was rich. He didn't show or talk with anyone in the class. He just didn't mean to, or not even to him. He didn't make a fool out of Naruto like the rest of the class, so yeah, that earned respect in Naruto's eyes for him. He was pretty much an outsider, really. Really never had much friends, so he was never biased. It was very rare to find people like him in this damn village, and inwardly he felt lucky to have him on his team. Sayuri, on the other hand, was a bitch. No, he couldn't give a damn about her. Hey, dumbass, how long are you gonna keep staring at nothing? Sayuri stated. Naruto who was just looking at outside, glared back at her. If you haven't realized, moron, where is our teacher? What? You want me to teach you? Before became a fight, however, a man with raven hair entered the class. Well, this is the Genins I have to teach. Well, you all look like a promise, but then again, the eye can be deceiving. At training ground 12 right now, brats. You all have 10 minutes. If you can't reach there in 10 minutes or be even a second late, well, it'll be a surprise. With that, Shisui disappeared in a body flicker, leaving all the Genins speechless. Naruto, with now new motivation to get there quicker, walked out first, and Yoriichi following slowly behind. Sayuri moved to leave too soon, but Sasuke spoke, which made her clench her teeth. Try not to say the Uchiha name, Sayuri. You know the clan doesn't allow weaklings. Sayuri glared back. You should not worry about me. Worry about yourself, idiot. The last time I checked, despite you doing better all around the year, it was I who bested you during the graduation exam. It's a shame that my growth has surpassed yours at the last minute, but hey, better late than never, she said, walking out, ignoring Sasuke's howls to shut up and his growls. But what Sasuke didn't know was the very thing that made an Uchiha an Uchiha. It was what Sayuri had already developed. Yes, Sayuri had already developed the Sharingan. Was shows you, idiot. We'll wait until we both get older. I'll crush you and gain the clan head status, she said with the Sharingan activated in anger. As a few minutes of running, she caught up to her two teammates. They all ran around the training ground in record time. not really interested in understanding what their sensei meant by surprise. Once they all came to the training ground, Sisui sat there eating a plate of sweet dango, chewing with a smile. He saw his students and smiled. 9 minutes. You kids are cutting it close. We'll have to work on your speed. Well, normally I would give you all a test as that's the rule, but fuck the rules. I don't care. I'll just give you an all individual one on one and evaluate your capabilities. But first, introductions. The Genin smiled at their sensei. They already liked their sensei. Sure, he was a bit much in terms of energy, but there was something about the smile that they liked. He was like legit. Okay, I'll go first. My name is Shisui Uchiha. Where here on from now, you all call me Shisui Sensei, okay? And my hobbies are training, maybe eating dongos, as you can see, Sisu said as he gobbled down more dongos. And my likes are, well, Sisu got in a thinking pose. Well, my clan and this village. And my goal, well, it would be to make all of you brats strong and make a name for yourself in the shinobi world, he said, as all of them nodded, giving him an acknowledgement look. Okay, you go first. Shisui said, pointing at Sari, my name is Sari Uchiha. It doesn't matter. I hate many things. My goal is to be able to become the best Uchiha since Madara and settle down afterwards. After that, she slyly blushed and looked over to her left, which so happened to be where Naruto sat. Shisui saw that and smirked. Well, well, well. Seems like we have a bit of a violent crush. I remembered. She is Itachi's sister. I'll tease him about him later. Alright, you. He said, pointing at Yoroichi. He sighed. My name is Yoroichi Kiwatsuchi. I like, well, painting and sculptures, anything art related. I hate, well, this world, in a way you could say. What I want is to change my people, my parents, and this village to make it as pure as possible, and then become full-fledged ninja who can gain the respect of certain someone. He said with his discernment as Sisui sighed. Oh man, this one is gonna be troublesome, he thought. Then he looked at Naruto. Alright, Blondie, off you go now. Naruto kept a blank face. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and what I like, well, it would be, well, Naruto started thinking. Maybe training, that's all. And what I hate, that I know very well. The Namikaze family. Every single one of them. I don't really know and favor ramen all that much. It's good, but to eat it every day, sushi is better. And my dream is, Naruto said, become the strongest shinobi that ever existed. He said, Sisu frowned a bit. As much as I hate Kakashi, he did give me a sore eye. Naruto does not like his family at all. I hope I can change that outlook of his. It's not healthy. It does not sound too loyal to the village either. He didn't say he hated it, so he's on the balance. And if someone pushes him too far, he thought before he clapped his hand. Well then, brats, nice introduction. Now let me tell you about your skills. First, you go, Naruto. Naruto frowned. I'm more of a ninjutsu specialist, but I'm not too savvy anywhere. I'm proficient in taijutsu, and I'm learning a bit of kenjutsu. Genjutsu, well, it's my weakest area due to my chakra reserves. but I'm learning that disability. Sorry would have mocked him, saying that he wasn't that good, not in his life, but then she remembered the Genin exam and how he beat Sasuke. He could be telling the truth, she thought. I'm good at genjutsu, but I'm not so good at everything else due to my frail body, Yoroichi said. But I'm good at genjutsu, don't worry about that. I apply fire nature to my sword and that's all I can do, Yoroichi said with a heavy determined as Shisui smiled at her. Don't worry, brat. Stick with me, you'll get there. But I won't go easy on you. It'll be hell through to get this training started. Sayuri started speaking with a smug look on her face. I also am a bit of ninjutsu specialist. I'm not that bad at genjutsu, but I mostly like taijutsu and shuriken jutsu. I don't have a weakness. Naruto rolled his eyes. Bullshit. You absolutely suck when it comes to chakra reserves. Your chakra reserves for an Uchiha is very low. I'm surprised your father hasn't disowned you yet. Basic fireball jutsu is literally tortures on your lungs, Naruto said. Sayuri glared hard at Naruto, but mostly because he was right. Your stamina compared to the others is a bit low, and that didn't mean that she didn't train. Shisui chuckled when the Uchiha glared at the blonde. Well, don't worry, brats. I've got this covered. We'll be training non-stop and rectifying your weaknesses. One by one, we'll make you super strong. Believe in me. Shisui said as he threw his dango sticks at the students. Now, let's play a quick game of dodge to the boost. Whose reflexes? Shisui said with a sadistic smile as he chased them around, throwing all kind of things at the Genins. Time skip 4 hours later. Naruto was seen entering the residence of the office for the shinobi after Shisui's training session. He had been made full a shinobi today, so he needed to do something. Move out of the house. He had been planning to do this since he was, well, 6. He was ready to get the hell out of this hellhole, and this piece of paper in his hand will help him out to do that. You see, he got this sign when back when the family ever noticed him. He was so slick with his deception with the Hokage in his hand that he would be giving to the landlord of this building his Genin license and his orphanage paper with 500,000 yen from his father's saving account. The money was easy to get as it was one thing that he was lucky enough to be in the family or for what was the money they had. Though he never felt one penny being used on him. He could always count on the Namikaze family, who was rich. It wasn't hard to steal that much money and still not even make a dent in their savings account. But the signature he needed from the Hokage would be the hard part. But it was so easy that he almost hated the man for making it that easy. Flashback. Naruto raced to the Hokage's office to see with a piece of paper in his hands with the hope in his eyes. For in his hands was the paper to disown him from the clan so he would live on his own. Naruto had enough of the hell that he was forced to endure every single day. While seeing a man Mito live a good life, he couldn't take it anymore. And with his intelligent mind, he would go into the human resources of Konoha, changed into an older adult of course, and took some papers. He had to be very discreet as even though they neglected him, his parents and siblings were very absorbing and when they wanted to, but he got away with this not so much that absorbing since they really didn't notice him. Naruto knew that he was only 5 at the moment, so he couldn't do much on his own at the moment, but he knew that There were discounted shinobi apartments in the general area, so when he became a genin, what's where he was going to that there is where he was going to go. He made it to the Hokage Tower and dashed into the door. Starling Minato was busy signing paper and also thinking of Menma and Mito's training regime. Oh, it's you, Naruto. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Minato said to his son in a rushing tone. Naruto, in his little childlike voice, spoke. Dad, I need to sign this paper or something. It's an autograph for my friend. He doesn't believe that you're my father, and this signature will prove that, he said as he raised the paper, which in fact had a meekly little genjutsu on it. To his father. Well, even sometimes I don't believe that I'm your father. Naruto, go away, I'm busy. Minato shouted. Naruto flinched at the comment. No matter how hard he wanted to get out, that still hurt. Again, finding the courage to speak, sometimes so hurtful, he continued on the onslaught. But Dad, please do this and I'll never ask for anything ever again. Not even from you for your love and attention, you piece of trash, Naruto thought. Minato snatched the paper and signed it fast. Here, now get out. But if you see your siblings, tell them that I said to be bright up and early in the morning. I'll be teaching them as hard as ever. Naruto nodded as he left the room. He left the tower in smiles, but a lone tear falling from down his cheek suggests he was feeling otherwise. Mini flashback ends. Naruto sighed as he brought the paper to the desk. I would like to buy an apartment, please. The man looked at Naruto and sighed to himself. Another orphan. This world is nuts, I swear, he thought. He grabbed the paper and looked at him after scanning it. So, you're a shinobi. Naruto nodded with a slight smile. Yes, freshly made genin. The man smiled back weakly. Right, so you do understand half of your genin payment from D-rank missions will be going to your rent. Your rent will be start at 2,000 yen per month, and then increase as you increase in the shinobi rank. Your rent will increase 10%. Trust me, we'll know when to increase your rent. Your records will appear when your payment is due, so don't hide in order to stay in a cheaper apartment. It won't work here. Naruto nodded. He looked up at the D-rank payment options, and D-rank mission can be 50,000 to 100,000 yen. So really, he wasn't left with much after the rent, but he would make it work. He always does. Alright, sir. Is there anything else that I have to sign? He said. The man brought the papers in front of the boy to claim an available room, then afterwards give him the keys. Follow me, the man said. The man took Naruto to the 4th floor and walked to the middle of the hallway and where they stopped at the door. 407. He opened the door and with the key and saw the apartment to be average. It had a small kitchen, but contained to the living rooms, and his bedroom was down the hall. Well, this is you. Any questions, kid? Naruto turned to him. How are you on pets? The man sighed. This is a shinobi building. So you have summons. Then it should be alright. But make sure they are house trained though. The man left, leaving Naruto with a smile. Finally, I'm alone. I'm free. He laughed as he bumped it into the bed. Hell yeah, now I can roam around without being watched by the Namikaze, he thought. Then he looked at something. Naruto smiled as he looked around. The place needs a bit of, cleaning, fixing up later. Now though, I'll get my clothes from them. But before that, Naruto heard a voice inside his head. Hey Brad, it's time to train. You still have to unlock your second stage of the karma. Remember that, Isshiki said. Naruto sighed. Yeah, I know, I'll do it. Naruto said as he shrunk. Yes, Naruto had finally unlocked Sakuna Hikono, and he could shrink himself, but not the rods that Isshiki used. He still had a long way to go. Naruto appeared in the forest of death as he started looking around. Yes, this should be sufficient, he said as the karma started spreading, and it looked. Naruto started looking around. As he started applying more chocolate to the karma mark, soon a horn started appearing, and it looked very similar to Ishiki's horn. Ishiki smirked. So you finally unlocked the second stage of the karma seal. Try it out, you'll enjoy it. But Ishiki noticed something. His right eye. So he finally unlocked it, Isshiki thought. Hey brat, focus your right eye on that tree, he said. Naruto did as he was told, and to his surprise, the tree shrunk. What? How the hell did I do that? Naruto said, as Isshiki started laughing. He took out a kunai and looked at her damn eye, he said, as Naruto did so, and he saw that his eye had 4 triangles in them, they were yellow. What the hell is this eye? Why does it look so similar to yours? Naruto said. Isshiki shrugged. As I said to you late at the time when you were a kid, you have 78% of my DNA, and because of that, you can unlock my right eye, which is the more powerful one. That eye is the reason that I can shrink anything and store it in a separate dimension. Remember, brat, there's a weakness to this ability. That is that I cannot shrink any living objects, so the same goes for you. Now, let's practice the Daikokuton, so that tree that is shrunk. Do you know where it went? No, he said. Naruto shook his head. It went into a separate pocket dimension that only that I can access. So, try it. Naruto did as he was told, and in a blink of an eye, the tree appeared in its original size and slammed down. Oh, whoa, Naruto said. Isshiki smirked. Yes, that's the Daikokuton. Anything inside the pocket dimension, you can unlock it. So, might as well see your clothes, he said. Naruto, what do you mean by that? He asked. He was confused. The karma can use space-time ninjutsu. Just go to the damn pocket dimension and see any of the clothes you like. I have some in there when I was a kid, so maybe they might fit you, he said. Naruto smiled. Yes, this was indeed going to be interesting. As he handed out his karma, and a red portal started to appear. Did I just go through it? He said. Isshiki shouted, "Of course, you idiot! Go!" he said, as Naruto's sweat dropped as he went inside the portal. As Naruto entered the portal, he saw some things. This dimension was indeed. It had a lot of things. What the hell are these giant cubes? These are for battles. I can summon them whenever I want to. If I have to get off a nasty situation, these cubes are a very good thing in a combat, Isshiki said. As I said, but the thing is, with the stage 2 of the Karma Seal, you'll gain all of my experience. Do you know how much that is? 1,000 years worth of experience, Isshiki said with a smirk. Naruto just looked around, the clothes, you say, as he saw a white Haori, a long coat, it looked like. Yes, that's what I normally wear, Isshiki said. But then again, you can shrink it with your ability so it can fit you, he said. Naruto went towards the coat and he did as Isshiki told and shrunk the coat. until it was his size. Oh, this indeed is handy, Naruto said as he wore the coat. Well, this looks cool, Naruto said, as he saw himself in the kunai, and he was looking pretty drippy. He wasn't gonna lie. Isshiki scoffed. Well, we might as well start your training. Of all these abilities that you have unlocked with the stage 2 of the Karma Seal, you'll become a second to me, brat. But before that, you should learn the basic ability that all Otsutsuki know. Flying, he said. Naruto scoffed. I already know that. Isshiki blinked. You do? Yes, Naruto said. As you said, I will gain all the thousands and thousands of years of your experience. And I can do this now, he said. And he started to fly, and Naruto exited the dimension by using his karma again. I can already guess you're the strongest in this village now, Naruto. Even the fourth doesn't hold a candle to you, Isshiki said. Naruto smirked. Is that it? So, I have a question for you, Isshiki. Should I use my karma in the later missions that come up? He said. Isshiki shrugged. If you want to, you can. But remember, don't use the second stage, only the first one. Make the others think that you simply have no idea, and that you unlock this power in the stage of life and death. That would be much simpler, he said, as Naruto nodded with a smirk. Things were getting interesting, that was for sure. Naruto was outside of the Namikaze mansion. He sighed. He needed to get the rest of his stuff, and that wouldn't be so hard. He could just shrink them and store them in his pocket dimension. And when it came down to it, when he would go to his apartment, he could just use Daikokutin and just bring them there. Yes, this ability was indeed very useful. He walked through the doors to see the entire family, including Jiraiya and Tsunade, eating with them. Kushina smiled brightly when she saw Naruto enter and spoke. Son, where have you been? We were just celebrating dinner with the honor of your graduation. Come, sit next to your sister and I. As Mitos smiled happily as he slapped the chair that was right beside her excitedly. Yeah, come, big brother, she shouted. Menma just glared at the plate in front of him with annoyance. Minato laughed. Well, come on, Naruto. You have to tell us how did you do in the exam. Naruto watched all of them in annoyance. He hated them with every fiber of his being. He ran upstairs and simply did what he had to do. He simply shrunk everything. Kushina grew confused as her heart dropped when she saw a passive look on her son's eyes. Minato, the Hokage, grew confused, but everything was answered when they saw their son walking down. I'm leaving, he said plainly, before walking out of the room. Minato and Kushina watched their eldest son begin to walk out of their lives in shock. What? No, Naruto! She shouted with tears immediately fell down. Minato flashed in front of his son using his famous Hiraishin no Jutsu. Naruto, you can't be serious. You are not really going to leave, are you? This is some sort of prank, right? Naruto only glared at him. In what world would I waste my time and effort into pranking you? I even don't want to be in the same room and space as you all. Jiraiya frowned. You're being too harsh, kid. Just because we have ignored you for a bit. 2 whole years. That's exactly how long you have ignored me. You blandly forgot me. You left me alone to defend for myself. There was nights where I didn't have a warm meal. Nights I was beaten and managed to fend for myself. Nights that I almost died because of my family turn and counting nights for 4 heads in their house, not 5. Naruto frowned. I have to learn and do everything on my own. to cook for myself, clean, how to tie my shoes, how to read, poetry, everything, fucking everything, because men might need to come first, eh? Well, count me out. I'm done, he said as he walked out of the door, but Tsunade yelled, "You need to grow up, brat. Your siblings are. Do I look slow, Tsunade? I quite understand what they are, but that doesn't give them the excuse. Should a sensei favor one student because the others are more talented, even though the other two are genis of his own team? That does not make any sense, does it?" Naruto said as he walked out, as they all looked at him. Menma was just looking at that. You can act if you want a good relationship, but you are never gonna surpass me, brother. You're just a loser. That's how it's always gonna be. Honestly, you and Redred's a hopeless bastard, Menma said. Then he was surprised when someone slapped him. It was Minato. Minato looked down at Menma with a stern look. "This isn't what I taught you, Menma. To look down on others. It doesn't matter who they are, does it?" Minato said. Menma looked up at his father. "But Dad, I'm the child of prophecy. Of course I can look down on others. I'll save the world one day," he said. Minato glared at him. "That doesn't give you the right to look down on others, Menma." Menma scoffed as Naruto smiled as he walked out of the house. Hearing the commotion that Menma and Minato were making, this is the first step of becoming the most greatest shinobi. Next step is dealing with my karma and mastering all of my abilities to its fullest. Even with all of your experience, Isshiki, I still have to figure them out a little bit, Naruto said. As Isshiki nodded, "The way I fight and the way you fight doesn't have to be same. We can incorporate my style with yours, that's all," he said. Naruto stuttered. "You say it like that's easy." Isshiki smirked. "Well, what do you expect? I'm not gonna let you die anytime soon. Your death is my death. I cannot have you die on me, brat," he said. As he yawned, "I'm going to sleep. Do whatever you want." Naruto smiled as he looked up in the sky. He was going to change how things were in the shinobi world, no matter what. And because he had the power to do so, why not do it? But many things had to be played. He needed allies, supporters of his own, and he would soon gain that. As soon as they went on their first mission out of the village, he would gain supporters no matter what, and he would change how this world processed. That was a promise, and that was his true goal. Nobody could know that. If Konoha came between him and his goals, so be it. He will destroy the village and burn it to the ground. No one would stop him. He was Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who would change the very foundation of the shinobi world.